called Shell. This is a workshop, not only one day shop, but it is like we take some time, 3 days to do this workshop. I think today we'll do what we can do, and maybe we can continue, because this is a good, tools that you should have as a data scientist or machine learning. I said this is part of what we call software carpentry. You can see they have many workshops around the world. For example, you can see this University of Rico, around the world, many workshops meant to teach this kind of skills. And these are some of the skills, unique shell, how to use version control, how to use Python, plotting, programming, reproducible, so this automate MATLAB database. So these are some of the workshops that we normally do. And as I said, I'm one of the instructors of these, from this software carpentry, you can see. So I received a training like how to do this kind of teaching of stuff. And I taught a couple of universities around the world on, some of these like Unis and, Git on Python and whatsoever. So we will adapt their today their tools to their lesson to learn how we can use this shell. So I also said, if you are interested to learn more about this stuff, data science at the command line is a good resource for you to, level up your understanding of shell. This is really, really a good book. I really recommend it if you want to learn more. Before that, let's just get started. And I said, this is the Excel sheet that we talked about, that we will learn. I asked you to, write a review. So you can see reviewer, for example, here is Lukman. The article of whom is going to review, Mariam Abubakar, and this is the article he is reviewing. Can you see that? And now he wrote his review. So now look up your name here and just come here to review this article. Now, if you are this Mariam Abubakar article, find where your name is, look at what are some of the review you got here. And this is what we will be doing till the end of the program. So let's get started. Before we move on, any question? Before we move on, any question? Any question? Okay, so if there is no question, let's start it first. Now, this is what we call our computer system. This is what we call hardware, like, for example, the hardware of your computer, the CPU, the RAM, and whatsoever. But, there is how can you interact with computer? So with the hardware and you to interact, that is what we call kernel. So it is through kernel that you'll be having access to hardware. But now you as human, how can you talk to kernel? How can you talk to kernel? Because, we know everything in computer, we understand a bit like 1, 0, and 1, right? Now, how can you communicate with kernel? We must have a language that we will be able to communicate with kernel. That language is called shell. It's called shell. So shell is a user interface that allow you to access various services operating system. It is a way to communicate with computer system. So shells allow you to communicate with computer system. That is it. Oh, you cannot see screen? Somebody cannot see screen. Can't you screen on?
We can see your screen.
I can see.
Okay, so shell allow you to communicate with a computer. You can think of shell as a translator. You give it a command in language, in the shell understand, and it translates those commands to language in computer can process. So for example, now, let me, okay. So this is my command here. For example, here, I can say print working directory. You can see here, I can see this is a working directory, right? So you can see I'm communicating with the computer, right? I'm communicating with the computer to understand, hey, print what the current directory I'm in. So here, this guy, I can do something like this. I can take it to the left, right. Okay. I can do like this. Okay. So that's what is a shell. We have different kind of shell. Shells can be graphical user interface. So you see in Windows, what we normally do, if you want to open, folder, you right click and whatsoever you open it. That is GUI, graphical user interface, which is somehow a shell that allow you to communicate with the computer. But what we are talking today is text-based interface, where you type commands to perform tasks like moving file, running programs. That is what we'll be showing today. So in a nutshell, you can understand that shell is just a way to interact with your computer. You can look at it like just like graphical user interface, where you right click, open, but in a shell, you don't right click, you type command and do whatsoever. But we have different kind of shells. So you can see we have bash shell, we have TSS shell, we have KSS shell, ZSS fish. Look at them here. You can see here shell. You can see them, Bonelli shell, C shell, bash shell. All these are shells. They are language that allow you to communicate with your computer. Now, if you look at this guy, in my terminal here, got this one. Okay, so you can see here, I have bash, I have ZSH. So when I have bash here, look at it. When I have bash, can you see the way it changes? Can you see, this is my bash? Maybe this is what you have. And in bash is, and each shell has a command. This is command, like when you see this command, like $sign and cross, that is what is calling you, that is a bash command. When you see $sign, that is bash command. But now I'm not using bash, I'm using what is called ZSH. It's not here, ZSH. So you can see here, I have ZSH. It's my default shell command. So when I write this, look at my command, ZSH. Can you see this? Yes, you can see this is my ZH command. But you may see that your shell is not like this, like my own is has some color and whatsoever. I customize it. This is not the same as your own, but I will show you. I will show you. So you can see here, I can say, at least working directly, I can have something, but you may not have this, right? So I'm using what is called, if we go to command line, if you see, oh my ZSH, can you see something called oh my ZSH? Now, when you go this, so this allow you to, oh my ZSH. So this command, this is something that you can install that basically, this is how to install it. You just wget to crawl it and you just do install. So this is something that allow one to, you can see you have this kind of stuff. You can see that there are a lot of, advanced settings. You may not necessarily, you can continue basically with your shell command, but I like to customize my own stuff. So that's why I have that one. So you can see, so if you look at your, terminal bash, you can do everything here, but I don't want to see black and white, so I customize it, and I'm using the ZSH as a default. So you can see that's why I said there are several types of commands, so you don't be confused when you see different kind of command. We have Bonelli shell, bash, this, but bash is the most widely used shell, even in Linux, it's the most popular. Bash is the default shell on modern computer implementation of Unix in most packages. So even in Windows, I think you are having something like bash, something like that. So if you have Linux, such as Ubuntu or Saber, you have bash as default. So that's bash. But why is this bash useful? Why don't we just use our graphical user interface, GUI, just right click and whatsoever? UI, graphical user interface, is friendly. It allows you to do something as a beginner. But if you are grown up data scientist, machine learning, and you are programmer, the best thing that increase efficiency is terminal scripting. You use shell, everything. So if you see computer gurus, you not see them clicking right click, copy. No, everything they are using command shell. They copy, they move, they delete, everything that you can do. Anything that you can do on computer, you can do it on terminal. That is the purpose of this class, to show us how we can use terminal to be able to be more productive. So you can see Why is shell? Is efficiency. Command line shell can be much faster and more powerful than graphical user. So someone may say this, you are crazy. Why can you say this terminal can be more powerful and faster? Because in graphical user interface, I can just right click and copy and paste. Now let me tell you, what about if you have 1 million file, and each 1 million file, you want to rename it. You want to rename each one of them 1 million, right? With something maybe they have different file names. For example, let me say you ask people to send you their CV, and they all send you the CV. Somebody is Tanimu Balarabe, somebody is Isa Musa, and you want to change that file name they send you to maybe they apply for application. We want to change the CV to first applicant, second applicant, third applicant, fourth applicant, up to 1 million applicant. How long will it take you to rename this file from 1 to 1 million? That's tons of amount of time, right? But with terminal, you just need to write a command, just few lines, not with Python. I'm not telling you you can do, but in terminal, you can just write a few command. In just few minutes, it will just, rename all the files for you in just few minutes. But if you are using with graphical user interface, you can see it's going to be tasking, right? So you see efficiency, scripting. So with terminal, you can do scripting. You can make everything script, remote access. So with terminal, with here, I mean, this is my terminal. I can now access, I have a server in Amazon. I have a server now in Google. I have a server in my university. I can now just, access my server. So you can see here SSH. So this is a way to access. So when I say SSH, something like this, so now you can see here it's asking me something to connect my Oracle. So here I have Oracle server. I'm running some experiment on Oracle server. I can just connect my Oracle server from here and just enter the server here. So remote access. So this is telling you, like, with a terminal, you can do many things. So if you are a good software programmer or whatsoever, data science, you need terminal. Learning, Shell can give you deeper understanding how computer operating cross-platform. You can use Shell in Windows, Linux, and whatsoever. So that's it. Before we start, this is a summary of theoretical before we just move into the how we can use that. Shell is a program where users can type command. The Shell provide interface called command line. So Shell provide interface. So this is the interface. This is interface of the Shell. So Shell provide interface called command line. So this is command line, CLI. So where you can type and whatsoever, do whatever you like. Okay, so this is just introduction, what is Shell, and we can get started with many things. So for example, now when I say, let me go back to Bash, you can see Bash. In Bash, you can see this something called like dollar sign. This is called prompt. It's called prompt. In some Shell, you may not necessarily see dollar sign. It may be some other stuff. This is called a prompt, and it's telling you you are ready to type in a Shell. So I can just type. I can chip on. You know what I mean? So that's it. Okay. Now, any question before we move on? Any question? Any question? Any question? No? All right. So if there's no question, let's get started. Oh, let me share this with you so that you can basically start following me along the way as well. Okay, I share in the chat what I will be going through. I already show you. So we'll be going through this document, this tutorial, introducing Shell from software carpentry. So you can see it. We'll be going through that. So let's start going through it. Okay, so the first thing is we're gonna start with a command called ls. So what is ls? If you type ls, means list working directory. Now, if I show you here, I'm inside this folder called ML Office Hour. Can you see it? ML Office Hour. And inside this ML, how many folders do I have? Shell, week 3, week 4. You can see them. shell, week 3, week 4, whatsoever. You can see them. This command shall allow you to list items in your directory. We'll come to that more. When you type something which is wrong, so I modify my shell command. When I type something that is not correct, my ZSH will ask me, do you want to correct? You type something wrong. Do you want to correct? I know if you are on your computer, in your computer now you type KS, it will just show you something wrong command. But for me, when I'm doing something faster, I wrongly type something, ZSH will ask me to correct it. So you can see here, I can say, yes. If I say, yeah, no, don't correct me, you can see command not found. So if you type any command that is not found, it will show you anything. But when ZSH, when I say yes, you can see that it changes to LS. That is something that here. If you have Linux, you can do that. I think also with Unix, with Windows, you can install all this stuff. Okay, now let's go to what we call navigating files and directory. Now, if you are in Windows, for you to navigate to file and directory, it's just to move, copy, right click to open the folder. But let's look at how we can use, shell to do that. We have a command called PW, means print working directory. When I do this, look at it, which directory, which folder I'm in. So by the way, when I say directory, I mean folder. Directory means folder. So when I say PWD, it means print working directory. So you can see, because I'm inside of my machine learning office hour, you can see it prints something like the user Shamsuddin up to my machine learning. So this is, I'm inside this folder. Can you see that? Let me go into another folder, see shell, maybe. You can see, all right, I want to show you something exciting that may be useful. So you can see here, there is something called CD command, means change directory, means change directory. You can see now I am inside this whole directory shell, but what if I want to move into another directory? Oh, I'm inside my machine learning office, right? What about if I want to move to shell, means move into another? So we have another command called CD, means change directory. So shell, can you see I say shell? Now I say, okay, now I move. So if I say print working directory, you can see I'm inside everything. This is the first, you can see the last one, I'm inside shell. But someone may ask, hey, your terminal is doing some kind of suggestion for you. Can you see its suggestion? Can you see that? So basically, I'm using another tool called Fig tool, Fig terminal. You can see I'm using another tool called Fig. You can see it. So Fig, when you install it, I can share this. Because I'm using Windows, you can download other. So you can see for Linux, you have it. For Windows, it's not yet available. For Linux, it's not yet available. For Mac OS, it's available. So if you don't have Mac OS, you may not be able to use Fig. I'm afraid, sorry. So just to tell you why my terminal is doing some suggestions is because I'm using Mac and I installed something. So just we understand now what is called CD, means change directory. But we have different kind of directory in our OS, in our operating system. We have what we call parent directory. Let me show us. Oh, I should have something here. Okay. Let me just wait now. Is there any question before I move on? Is there any question? Is there any question? Okay, so we are still under navigating directories. So let me show you something. So here you can see, let me go to the desktop. Let me go to RODS. Okay, so now I'm inside a folder called RODS now in my desktop. Now, when I do this, means ls, means list current file in this folder, right? But we have different kind of directory. We have what is called home directory. Now, what is home directory? Look at the structure of operating system. you can see something like this on the top. This is called home directory. Under this home directory, we have different kind of, directory being data users and this. Now, under user is where the users in the computer, different users in the computer are. Now, let me go back to this. So I have another command that take me to home directory. This command, can you see this command? cd, like this. It takes me to home directory. So this is a home directory. Can you see slash? Can you see it? Now, when you type in your computer, you go back to home directory like this. Can you see slash this home directory? Now, when I do ls, list what is in home directory, you can see it's listening something, being data application, but this is something you can see a lot. Some of them are not here, but you can see them. But what we can see here is that we have users. Can you see users, which is here, right? We have users, meaning you may have a computer with many users, Isa, Musa, Balarabe, and then they have different access to that computer. So now let's move to CD users. Now users. Now look at it. I'm now inside the user. Let me see. So you can see we have shared, we have Rikinas, we have SH Muhammad. So you can see we have my username, I'm the user in this computer. Rikinas is username, and we have shared where we share some stuff. So let me go into CD SH Muhammad. When I go inside SH Muhammad, now you can see now I'm in my home directory. So okay, look, we have what we call root directory. This is called root directory. Now, since I'm inside the directory for SH Muhammad, I'm inside what we call home directory. So you can see home directory is specified by something tilde, right? Can you see something called tilde? It's allow you to go back to home directory. Can you see something backward slash or forward slash? Allow you to go to root directory. So this directory is called root. This is a, what can I say in Hausa? Like, I don't know what to say. What can I say? What the
root of a tree. Yeah? Root of a tree.
Yes, root of the tree, something like that. Like, shine gishiki. Komai yana kai, kun gane? So kuma akwai reshi. So kun ga nan shine root. So now we'll be able to understand what is root. Root is like anything, at the root, at the beginning, but you can have this. So we have users, and in the user we have this. So now let me go back to desktop, SH Muhammad. So when I'm inside SH Muhammad, I can do something like this. No. LS, you can see my application, my download, everything in my computer. So let me see, go to CD desktop. Can you see I'm inside RODS? You can see now I'm inside RODS, right? So since I'm inside RODS, what about if I want to go back to my root, my home directory? What I can do is I can say CD, I can say this. Can you see CD tilde? Let's type this one. Can you see it brings me back to home directory? Let me see, print working directory. Can you see it bringing me to SH Muhammad? Can you see that? Now, what about if I'm CD inside? So what about, you can use up arrow and down arrow. Up arrow allow you to see previous command you type. Down arrow allow you so you can move around. So now what if I am inside RODS? Now I want to move into root directory. I say CD slash. Can you see I'm now inside the root directory? Can you see it? Yeah, we have single root, but we have many home directory. Exactly, we have many home directory. So this is something that you should know. What I want. Okay. But there is something inside this. So let me say, go back to my RODS. So I'm inside. Oh no. Where am I? Okay. So users. I'm going because I'm inside root. I'm going this and desktop and the RODS. Can you see that? And yeah, I'm here, right? So let me see. Can you see LS? Now I can use LS and something like this. Now LS dash minus F, LS dash F. What this means that print the name of the file and directory in the current, print the name of. So whatever you see this slash forward, it means this is a folder. This is telling you inside RODS design, whatever you see with that's is a folder. This is a folder. This is a folder, but this one is just a file. So anything you see with this folder is a folder, right? Yeah, so this is something you should know with ls. I will talk more about this in a bit. What do we have? For example, now we have ls, but you have another argument. We'll talk about this. Now we have clearing terminal. You can use clear to clear what is terminal. This is something that you should also be learn. But we also have, help. So you see, if you want to find, for example, you want to say, okay, what this command ls does. So we have what we call help. Help. Can you see ls help? But in Linux or Mac, help is not used. But in your Windows, when you type, you will see something. For me, because I'm using Mac or Linux, what I need to use is man ls. So meaning it tells you the documentation about that, command. What ls is used? It's used to list directly. So it has many arguments. Can you see them? A lot of them. Can you see them? A lot of, it's so common, but if we don't want to do this, you need to type Q. When I type Q, I go outside. I say man ls, you can see that. You can see something dash here. So when I tap enter, it is going. Can you see it's going. But when I want to go outside of this, just type Q. You are not seeing the Q. Now I'm tapping Q. Can you see? I'm just go off the register. So when you see, you want to see like the help, what a command is doing, just type dash help. But I told you there is something which I found useful, TLDR, when you install TLDR. So TLDR will, because man give you something more cumbersome. So for example, man, ls, how can you sit down and just read all of this? It's very difficult, right? So a shortcut I showed you last time is to use something called TLDR. If you install it, TLDR, for example, SL, you can see it gives you few commands. So if you forget, okay, what does ls means? List current directory. Okay, but what about if you have this ls-1, list files 1 per line? So let me copy this guy. List 1. Can you see 1 per line? Can you see 1 per line? Can you see? List all files, including hidden files. So sometimes there are hidden files in your computer. When I type this, can you see any file that starts with dot is hidden file. Any file that starts with dot is hidden file. You can see. So you can see here there are a lot of commands that you cannot cover. With time and practice, if you want to do something, you will be able to understand them, right? So you can see here long format of file. So when I type this lists all file in long format. So here you can see it's telling you the read write, the how many MB, the who is the home directory, and the size of the file, when the file was created, at what time the file. Wow, you can see them. A lot of things you can do. But if you are using Microsoft Word, command line, for you to find all this information about a file, sometimes it's confusing, but in command line, so you have a lot of stuff here. You can see long file sorted modification. You can see you can do sorting oldest first. You can see R means in reverse chronological order. So you can see it's sorted by order. You can see that So these are something that you should know. And what is TLDR? I told you last time. You can see TLDR, something like this. You can install TLDR. Okay, so this is TLDR. How you can install it? You can just come here. You need to install npm first, and now you can just see this guy, np pip3 install LDR. If you are using Mac, you can use this guy. So this is how you can install npr, or you can install TLDR. It makes life easier for you. But for me, I'm using WAP. Even if I forgot a command, I just do something like this. How to copy file, how to list folders. Can you see? You can see ls, it just lists. You can see it just tell me. I just say, okay, yes, input command, it just lists the folder for me, right? Okay, it give me something which it is not. So this is just the idea. The next thing is okay, this is robust. So exploring directories. Okay, let me just wait. Any question? Any question? Any question? Yes, Mubarak. Yes, good, Mubarak.
Okay, sir, most of these commands work only with Unix distribution, right?
But in Windows, you have what some in Windows I yanzu da akwai wani abu da ake ce mishi ya sunan shi that
PowerShell.
Yeah.
Is it PowerShell?
Yeah, well, PowerShell, yes, PowerShell.
Yes. Yes.
So with PowerShell, Isaac, you can do everything that you can do in Linux.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess
Okay,
so.
sir.
Sorry,
thank
forgive me. I'm not Windows user. Since 2012, I have never used Windows. Since 2012, I'm using Mac. So I literally forget a lot of stuff Windows. So, but I know for that shell you can do stuff. So this is it. So there are a lot of stuff which we cannot, I cannot go, but you can learn a lot of them. So another thing, exploring other directories. So for example, now I've shown you how we can, go to another directory, list ls, list current directory. Now, what about if I want to I want to ask, list, you can see when I say ls, I can only see the current file inside this directory. What about if I want to say, show me all the files, right? Show me all the file inside this while I'm in RODS, but I want him to show me all this, so I can do that. I can say ls 100, for example, 100, and I can, do it like this. Can you see that? So you can see it will show me this, right? It show me the file in this folder, right? So what about if I have this ls minus f? I say, okay, what is it, 100, this. You can see it show me again, something like that, right? So you can do a lot of other stuff, change location. Okay, so let me clear this again. Right, so let's do something, change location, called CD. Let's print working directory now. Where are we? I'm inside user Muhammad, Shamsid Muhammad, Asad Muhammad. I'm inside folder desktop and inside RODS folder, right? I'm inside RODS folder in my desktop. So let me show you my desktop. If I go to my desktop, I have a folder. Oh, I have a lot of stuff here. So you may not be able to see it clearly. But what I'm saying here, if you see, inside this folder, RODS. Now, let me go through another folder inside RODS. For example, maybe office hour, right? So I'm inside an inside shell. You can see I'm inside shell, right? Right, I'm inside shell. Again, because I installed this, this stuff, you can see, okay, let me go back here, show you something different. So you can see I'm inside RODS, right? RODS is just a folder. But when I enter a folder that is a Git repository, that I push it in GitHub, you will start seeing something like this. It will show me I'm in the main branch. Can you see it? So let me show you. I'm inside RODS. What are the folders we have? We have machine learning office hour. I can say CD, machine learning office hour. You can see that I'm inside here. But machine learning office hour, remember, machine learning office hour is a folder that we have in GitHub repository where we are pushing something. So when I enter, you can see that I'm inside main. And you can see something like this, down 6. It means there are some files that have been pushed in the remote by somebody, because Dr. Ibrahim did some classes and I have not downloaded them. I'm not in my computer. So I have to pull them. So this is telling me pull. This 7up is telling me there is some, one stop that I have not pushed. So this is just telling you that this gives you a lot of information that you'll be able to understand. But we are not here to understand, but I'm just telling you if you are curious. Now, what I want to show us now, we are inside another folder here. Let's go into shell folder. So we are inside shell folder now. If I see ls, it show me the file. Now, what if, because now I'm inside the shell folder, what if I want to go back to office hour? How can I do that? Who can tell me? If I want to go back to previous folder, who can tell me? How can we do that? If I want to go back to
CD ...
Okay, CD ... So let's see. You see CD ... Can you see I'm inside machine learning office hour back, right? CD ... If I want to go back to another one, I can say CD ... Can you see I'm back inside RODS? What about CD only? Who can tell me? What about CD? CD only. Who can tell me? What about CD only?
I think you need to specify the folder.
No, I don't want to specify. I have only CD. Who can tell me? CD only, no folder, only CD.
It will go back to the home
It will
directory.
take you back to the root.
Alright.
Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see.
It will take you to the folder.
No, home directory. It takes me back to home directory. Can you see? So now you can see I'm inside my home directory, CD, desktop, or DS. I'm inside RODS, and let's see what we have. Machine learning officer. Can you see that? So when I say CD only, it means I want to just go back to SH my root direct. Can you see my SH Muhammad, my home directory? That is it. Any question? Any question? Okay, I've already shown tilde. Okay, tilde also takes you, it's a shortcut, like just like CD, to just take you to home directory, and this guy take you to root directory, right? Yeah, CD, user, SH Muhammad, desktop, and any question? Okay, so let's make more understanding of these commands, the general. So the general structure of commands. So the general structure of command is this. You have prompt, then you have command, you have option, then you have what you call argument. Command, this is a prompt, the dollar sign. Me, this is my dollar sign. Maybe in your computer, this is my dollar sign. You can see, you can see something like this. Can you see something like white, something? So it's my command. So maybe in your computer, you see something like dollar sign. So you, the structure is this. You have command, you have option, you can have argument. So let's look at it. Command, this is the action we want to take. So for example, I say ls. ls is command. The action you want to take, list directory. Minus f is what we call options, because it's not necessary. It's option because I can just say ls, list directory here, list whatsoever in this directory, ls. Can you see that? So you have option. When you see something like this, we have square bracket, it means it's option. When you see square bracket, it means something is optional. So we have command, options, and arguments. So options are optional, argument is also optional. Command is, this is the action we want to carry out. Options or flags, they are called options or flags. So these guys are all called flag. So when we say, I say ls minus f, something like this. This minus f is called option or flag. There are option or to modify the behavior. So they modify the behavior of the command. Can you see that? They modify the behavior of the command. So this means that, you know, if I see something like this, TLDR, you can see this. This is the else. The original is ls, list current directory. But you can see ls minus 1, list one file. So you can see it modifies the behavior of this ls because it allows you, let's look at it, ls only. You can see it just gives you this. But when you say ls minus 1, it modifies the behavior of this directory to put everything in one line. That's all option. These are optional and modify the behavior of the command. They are typically modified or preceded by a single dash or a double dash. So you can see here, I have a single dash, but you can have also double dash as well with the option. And for example, here you can see, you can have a single optional. For example, here I have ls minus 1 to just this, but you can also combine multiple. So what this means that, let me show you something. So, okay, so let me show you this. So look at this, ls minus f, right? It shows you all the folders. It show you with, can you see slash f slash f slash f, right? What about if I have used this minus f and 1? Can you see I combine this command? It shows them one by line. So this means that you can combine the options using this dash at the same time. So you can see that's why here, TLDR. That's why here you can see we combine a lot. You can see you can combine even 2 minus LTR, long formal list of all files sorted by modification. That is the, from descending order. So we can say this. You can see that it sorted them, right? So this is called option. Then the last one, argument. These are the target of the command. So what it means that, so this guy option modify this command, but the target, if you have what you are doing this command on the target, you specify the target. So for example, we can say ls minus f. Then the target, I can specify, a directory, maybe machine learning office R. So this means that this command is the target, what I want to, the action I want to do is on this argument. This one option is modifying this command, but this is the target. So when you can see this, so you can see we now understand the structure. Argument, these are the target of the command. For example, it could be the file you want to command to operate on, you can see, or you can have one or more. So this one also, the argument, you can have one or more argument. Same thing like we saw here in the option or flag, we have one or more flag. Then command, the target also, you have one or more command, right? Any question before we continue? Any question? I know maybe this is heavy, right? Is it heavy? Is it difficult? Or is it like something like Chinese or some? Yeah, Lukman raise off and go on.
So I just wanted to know regarding where should I be putting space? Is it in between the commands and the rest? Because some places there is space, some places there's no space. Like when you use the F and 1 together, you didn't put space.
Yes. Oh, okay. Yes. So ls minus f. So let's see something like ls minus f minus 1. Look at this. You can see this guy's works. ls minus f minus 1, but it's redundant to put minus f minus 1, right? You can match them, right? You can say, oh no, guy, that one you can apply it on the next one, right? So can you see it works? What about if I leave space here? Does this rank bills? Lukman, you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that's it. So you cannot leave space here, but you can add them. If you want to leave space, you will need to provide each one with its own stuff. Okay, so let's look at this. You can have command line with one command. So you can ls minus 1, it's just one command. In this command, ls is the command we are running, which lists the directory content. The -1 flag tells is to display the output in long list format, which include additional information. But you can do this like double, you can put together, which I already showed. But you can have command with 3 commands. So here you can see I have 2. You can have 3 commands. This is what we call tag, which you use to unzip file. You remember when you download file in your computer, which is zipped, so you can use this command tag to unzip it. So what I'm saying here, you can see you have 3 commands, X, Y, X, Z, F, right? But we already saw that. Okay. Somebody was asking, can I use ls minus 1 F? Yes. You can see them. It's the same. You can see them. It's still the same. Yes, you can use. Okay. But there are some situations will come where this matters. I will tell you some stuff like related to that. So yeah, remember, okay, this is it. The order of the flags can sometimes matter. Can you see that? The order of the flag sometimes, and sometimes not, depending on the command. You can see sometimes it may not. So you can see here in this time, it doesn't matter. In this command, TAR, it matters. Why? Because in this case, this, for example, the -F flag must be the last one because the name of the archive immediately follow it. But in this, the order does not matter. So this is something that you should know. Yeah, command with multiple arguments. So here we saw, you can also, we have seen something like this, ls, list. What do you have? Okay, ls, we can say office hour, ml office hour. Okay, so I have this. You can see ls list what is inside the office hour, right? Here you can see we have one argument, what do you call it? One argument, right? We don't have option, right? We don't have option, but I can have my option ls minus f, because its option is also optional, and say minus f. I can see something like that. You can see that. But now you can see we have one argument, right? One argument, but you can have multiple argument. So this is what we have. For example, we'll come to this. I mean, it's a command called mb, means move this file. If you want to move this file to this file. So whatsoever is inside this file will be moved to this file. So this is like copy and paste. We'll come to this command, but I just tell you like you can have multiple arguments. So here I have 2 arguments without any options. Yeah. So a command can be called with more than 1 option and more than 1 argument, but a command does not always require an argument or option. So a command may not even have the argument or option. It can just work like that. Okay. Any question? Yeah. Okay. So I think we are on top of the hour, remain 2 minutes. I don't want to take us more. So these are some of the key points we discussed today. The file system responsible for managing file, which is Unix system. We can move to the directory lscd, whatsoever cd. We can use this. We can use absolute. Oh, I didn't discuss absolute file. We can discuss them next maybe tomorrow. So what I'm trying to say is that all I'm doing is we are following this document, this tutorial integration shell. So what I cover is, I cover the first stuff here, navigating to a directory. So we will now, because now is the first day is to get you up to speed to a lot of stuff, but next we'll continue. So you can see here, this is what we did, navigating directory. You can go here and read more. You can see PWD, everything that I'm taking, ls, you can see them getting help, minus help. You can see them, a lot of stuff, see them with even assignment that you can try on yourself. So next time when we come, we can continue with working with files and directly. For example, how can you delete file? How can you copy a file? How can you do this? You can see them. How can I edit file? Because you can edit file. You don't need to open a file on your computer with command right click and edit it. You can edit 1 million file at a go. You can edit 1 million file at a go. Each one to put something. We can also go to the next one where we'll discard 5 filters. They are also command. You can also do looping, like scripting. You can do programming in shell. Like you can see that, you can see for loop, you can see them, echo, you can see also, you can do a lot of crazy stuff using, which we are here to, let you understand. You can do all this is called shell scripts. So for example, you use Python script, right? You can see Python is a language. Therefore, shell is a language, shell scripting. You are using scripting language to do a lot of stuff. For example, you can do data analysis with it. You can do many things. So for example, if you look at this book that I share with you, you can do, for example, you can do explore data analysis, you can do modeling, you can do graphing, you can do, web scraping, a lot of stuff you can do with, command line. So without, much further ado, I think I will stop here so that tomorrow we'll continue. I really recommend you go through this stuff to learn it yourself because we may not discuss a lot today. You will find more in the document and you can ask questions. Hopefully, if you finish this, we finish this workshop. As I told you, this is a kind of workshop we normally organize and we do it, for example, in 3 days. So today we just cover the starting point and inshallah, the next one we can continue. So yeah, Abdurrahman, go on.
Okay, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Okay, I have just though you have started the office hour 30 minutes before I joined. Thank you so much for wonderful presentation. I have a question regarding to about the uploading the last week office hour. Last week I couldn't be able to join the office hour. but you are yet to upload it. So
okay. Yes.
in addition to that, I would like to ask something based on what you have just discussed. I have seen you have discussed so much about that CD command. What I will add maybe, or what you have forgotten to mention, is about the issue of parts, the relative and the absolute part. So
Yeah.
you have touched about that root directory, and you have talked about that home directory. Usually when we are dealing with the home directory, we are dealing with the relative parts. And when we are dealing with the root directory, we are dealing with what we call absolute part. So from your home directory, you can move to various folders and files, provide the files they are in your own home directory. But from your home directory, you can move to other directory, but in relation to what? In relation to absolute file, because it is not always possible from your home directory to move to the other directory, but you can do so through your what? Through your absolute file. I don't know whether Dr. will have time and discuss that issue of absolute file or moving from one place to another through your data absolute parts. That's what I'm trying to add.
Yeah. So so that's something good. I think I supposed to talk about absolute and
Relative.
but I think I skip it. I think also it's really important for us to understand what is absolute and relative path. I don't know where I have it.
So don't forget about the office
Yeah.
of last week, please. Try to upload it so that we can see.
So so I will do that. But I think I don't know, because it's already time, because you can see I have it absolute path and relative path. I don't know if it is time. Are we going to because maybe some people want to go? Do you think we can just discuss this office relative absolute, or we can leave it to tomorrow?
Okay, leave it tomorrow. Add it with what you are going to add tomorrow.
Yeah.
Already...
So we'll discuss this absolute and relative paths tomorrow, because it's really important when you are doing this. So thank you, Abdurrahman. So for those of you who don't know Abdurrahman, Abdurrahman is my teacher. He's also a Unix lecturer. He's a lecturer in Yobe State University, and he teaches Unix. So he's the one that even taught me how to use Unix. So he is making some comment on that. So thank you. So yeah. So any question? Any other question?
No.
Any other question? Okay, no question. Right. So if there is no question, I think we can stop here. But what I will urge you guys is to actually please try to have a look at the what I shared, the document, so that okay, another point. Well, next week we will start a new lesson in machine learning, our natural language processing. So the natural language processing, you can see my screen, right? Yeah, so we are starting this natural language processing.
No. We are not seeing.
Okay. Can you see now?
Yes, we can see.
So we are starting natural language processing, NLP. So what is NLP? All this hype that you are seeing about ChatGPT, this breakthrough is breakthrough in NLP, natural language processing. This is going crazy now in this world. One of the fastest, things in the world, one of the widely spoken thing in the world, I think, is nothing but, ChatGPT related stuff, which is NLP. So you can see NLP is a field of, understanding natural language processing. Computer, how can I understand a language? So this is what we'll be discussing going through next week. Here you can see we'll start discussing about, what is computational linguistic. Computational linguistic. So computational linguistic is also called natural language processing. So you see, computational linguistic is just a way, it's a course, because there is even bachelor, where you have, for example, bachelor in computer science. So there is bachelor in computational linguistics, where people do computational linguistics, understand how to do computational approach with text. Like how can they do translation with computer? How can they, this is what we call computational linguistics. So we'll, we will discuss more about this. We'll learn them. There's more, yep, okay. Let's go to the next one. In the NLP here, you can see we have, so here they discuss common tags in NLP, which will come. We have what we call tokenization. We have a lot of embeddings. We'll discuss this a lot when we come, but just to tell you what is there. There is also translation and sentiment analysis. Translation is to translate Hausa to something. We'll see. There is sentiment analysis. There is, how we compare the data. So we'll discuss this in detail in our office hour. But what I want to tell us is that I'm not sure tomorrow I will be able to do the session. Tomorrow by 10 a.m. I will be in flight. I will be going to Kenya tomorrow. So, but I will be in Kenya in Kigali by, I think, 1. So what time do you think is good for the members for us to meet? I can do, what do you think? Can we, let's do the normal time we do office hour, like 8 p.m. or 9, do it, yeah, 8:30 p.m. Does that sound good? Because tomorrow I will be in flight by that time, by this time. So does that sound good? Can we do by 8 p.m. tomorrow to continue with this shell stuff? Okay.
It's okay, we can do it. Sometimes eventualities can cause to maybe drift from the normal way we are doing things. So it's okay, since it is an issue that arises. So let everybody please bear with us and meet that at 8 p.m.
Yeah, so please let us meet. What I will tell you.
8:30, because time of the prayer.
Okay, so 8:30 p.m. I mean, this is really, really good topic, something that you learn because you will be seeing it. If you miss it, you need to, read your own, but I think it's better for us to go together and learn. So thank you all for joining, and inshallah, we see tomorrow by 8:30 p.m. so that we can continue. But by the way, I already shared the document. You can start going through it yourself. See you, inshallah, tomorrow.
But yeah, sir.
Yes, Babajira.
Sir, because of Salah, we should leave it at 8:30.
Yes, 8:30. We say 8:30. 8:30.
Okay.
8:30. Okay. See you. Bye.